watching a master at work.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Like Colonel Sanders is finger licking good. Friday, 7 o'clock. Tell it like it is. Memorial weekend. And because of that, we got a military theme tonight. I'm Major Nuisance, and sitting across from me is Sergeant Rock. He went dark. You know what? Was that your stealth move?
You know what? I don't think my camera on.
I don't think so either, because when they went to you, it looked like we had a B-52 just.
Yeah, come on out here and push play. That's it.
Is that what it is? You know what it is? You gotta take the lens cap off these things. Come on now, producers.
I tell
Get on the job.
I tell you the truth.
Well, Sergeant Rock,
Glad to be here, Mr. Stovall. Glad to be here.
glad to have you. Another episode of Tell It Like It Is, where we do a hour-long run through the world of sports, internationally, nationally, state, local. We do it just like the big fellas.
We discuss some things.
We do. The only thing is, we don't get no sodas around here.
Not even a glass of water.
But hey, once again, why complain? Nobody's gonna hear you. But you know who needs to start complaining? The Utah Illini. We had a phone call last week from a young man who said he had faith. Well, faith ain't gonna get you to the NBA Finals, and I hope he gives us a call at 1-2-3-4. What is the phone number around here?
384-2452.
Like she said, 384-2452, 384-2452.
You really need to write that number down.
I need to write it
You
down?
need to write it down.
Why is everybody picking on me?
Because you keep asking the same question week after week.
That's because
What is the number?
my medicine ain't working. My pressure getting up there.
Write it down. Joe.
Write it? Okay.
Go ahead, go ahead.
384-2452.
There you got it.
I got it. Thank you.
There you
Call us. Tell it like it is. 384-2452. Me and Sergeant Rock get ready to dive in the pool. The little kids have gotten out. Big kids can get in. We're going to dive right in. NBA playoffs. Sergeant Rock,
Sweet,
say that again.
sweet,
One more time for the people in the back.
sweet.
We got a sweep going on.
You know what? They're not going to use one of them old brooms that they make down in Arcola with the straw brooms. Mm-hmm. They're going to get one of them industrial brooms.
Oh, push.
Yeah, one of the ones about that wide, got that hard bristle on the bottom of it.
Pick up everything.
There you go.
If you don't know what Sergeant Rock talking about, Utah Jazz down to the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs working them. And we talked about this last week and the week before. The Spurs are like a well-oiled machine. And you might even see one of these this weekend, Indianapolis 500. But right now, the desperate housewife, Tony Parker, woo, Sergeant Rock.
They're, what's the word I want to use? Methodically dismantling the Utah Jazz.
Wow. Methodically dismantling the Utah Jazz.
Utah Jazz have nothing for the Spurs.
Well, you know, last week we had a gentleman who called who said that, you know, Utah had the 7-footers, Okor and Karolinko, who could shoot threes and get dunking away from the basket. Darren Williams could penetrate to the hoop.
Hasn't worked.
Carlos Boozer could do this.
Hasn't worked.
And Jerry Sloan could coach that.
Hasn't worked.
It what?
Hasn't worked.
And will it?
No.
So you saying a sweep?
Sweet.
I got a feeling you're right. Now, one thing for the Jazz fans out there,
It was a good run.
good run, but Jazz are 6-0 in the playoffs at home. They may win game 3.
And then there goes my sweep.
But even if your sweep is out the window, the fact remains San Antonio will be in the NBA Finals.
I have to agree.
I thought Phoenix was the team out the West. And I was wrong for the first time this year. All right, the second time. But game 3, Saturday, which is tomorrow, 8:30, ABC. You'll get a chance to check out and see if Sarge was right about the dismantling. I'm just going to say dismantling because the methodical analysis is a little too tough for me. Now, last week we had a 3-call minimum for Stat Girl to keep her job. I know it's a holiday weekend, a lot of folks on the road and all that. There she is on the screen. 4-call minimum this week.
It's
Yeah.
a little dark over there in that corner too, isn't it?
Your evaluation is coming up. Your evaluation is coming up.
And I've always passed with flying colors.
No, last week you passed on a hockey call with 10 minutes left in the show. So you better hope you get a couple of soccer calls and foosball or something like that, because 4-call minimum tonight, people. So hit us 384-2452. Back to the NBA playoffs. Tim Duncan. What can you say?
Playing superbly. You know, he's doing everything that the coach and that San Antonio needs for Tim Duncan to do. Defense, offense. What can you say? I'll tell you what you can say. Sweep.
You know, let me try that. Sweep.
There you go.
Got a nice little ring to it. San Antonio. I'm looking at this series, and I'm looking at the fact that the main problem, I think, for the Utah Jazz, their big guys, they don't have a post presence. You know, Carlos Boozer, he did a little something in game 2, but he's undersized and they're undermanned. They're 7-footers, like to play a European style game where they like to play facing the basket as opposed to posting up. The long jump shot creates long rebounds, which creates transition opportunities. Ginobili, Parker, Finley, Duncan, and the gang just get out and go with it. So as long as they keep jacking long jumpers and not getting any buckets in the paint, long series. See you later, Utah. I think it'll be over with in 5. I know we said sweep, but I say 5. I say next Wednesday, May 30th, last game of the series. It'll be done.
Okay. I'm still going with the sweep.
You're going with the sweep.
Still going to run with the sweep.
You got a Libman broom going, huh? Well, what's going on back there, people in the control booth? Man, you know what? We're like old fluorescent light bulb around here, just flickering. Flickering. Nothing wrong with your HD TV at home you got from Walmart. We're just having a few technical difficulties here. You know, but that's business talk. We're in the biz here.
It happens when you're live. See, when you're live, you can't go over it and redo it.
But you know what? We're professionals.
That's right. We keep moving on.
We keep moving on. Now, Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, Stockton and Malone, recreated. What do you think?
No.
No?
No.
Don't think so?
No, they just good basketball players in their time.
Good basketball players in their time.
Just like Stockton and Malone was in theirs.
Now, you know, Stockton and Malone played together for, 25 million years?
You get to know somebody in that point in time.
Yeah. We got to know Stockton in them little shorts. Yeah. Karl Malone went from having a jerry curl to a bald head. He was in the league so long. Just like, I used to have, man, a little curl used to hang down right here.
Well, see, that's what happens when you start to lose your hair. Go bald.
What happened?
You go bald.
You go
You
bald?
just don't continue to...
Don't go from a 4-head to a 5-head.
There you go. You just don't continue to lose hair.
Just get rid of it.
Just get rid of it all.
Yeah. Well, you don't think that Parker and Duncan rank in that category?
No.
Stockton and Malone?
No.
Well,
Parker still has some things to show me.
still got to show you something. Well, he's showing me a lot this series. I'm telling you right now. Tony Parker.
Well, he's stepping up.
He's more than a desperate housewife. I must say that. I must say that. Now, in the other series, Detroit, 79, that's all they got to score. Detroit Pistons up 2 on the Cleveland Cavaliers. They won again last night.
They celebrated last night. They won the series. Confetti and balloons.
You know, I think that's,
They did everything but rush the floor.
well, we don't want to rush on the floor in Detroit either. You know, the last time they rushed the floor in Detroit,
Yeah, half the team got suspended.
they brought a little more than just confetti.
But you know, you got to look at that game. I looked at the game last night. You know, everybody got on old boy for not shooting the last shot. You know, the last game. He came out, did a little turnaround, threw the ball up, didn't go in. Long rebound.
Yeah, Larry Hughes had an opportunity.
He had a gimme,
Yeah,
and he blew it. Thus the game.
and that's the series right now.
You can't put that whole series on one man.
Well, I look at what's happening with LeBron, and to me, it's a mirror image of what happened to Michael Jordan when the Bulls finally started getting that far in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. The only difference is I look at LeBron and I say to myself, LeBron has only been in the league for 3-4 years. He's only 22 years old. Mike was in the league 7 years before he even won his first title, and you got to remember, Mike played 3 years of college basketball. LeBron came straight out of high school. So the learning curve for him, a little shorter. And he's doing it. Now, I will say this, and I agree with you on this side of the rock. I can't understand this, the media attacking LeBron for game 1 when he penetrated and kicked to the corner for Danielle Marshall to shoot the 3. That was, to me, a great basketball play. Danielle Marshall makes that 3. The media is praising LeBron for being an unselfish basketball player in that situation, giving his team a chance to steal game 1 in Cleveland. In Detroit.
So he damned if he do, damned if he don't.
That's it. That's it. And then last night, you know, everybody's complaining about the foul. There was no foul on that play.
Did you think that was going through LeBron James' mind when he was coming up court?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I better shoot her, else they gonna get on me again.
Look, I think if you look at the position he was in to take the shot, he was clearly off balance. Rip Hamilton had excellent defensive position.
Right.
Kept his hands up. He did body him up a little bit, but this is the NBA, and it's the NBA playoffs. You know, and as we said, the NBA stands for no boys allowed. And he took it up strong. He missed. But they still had an opportunity. Larry Hughes with 8 seconds on the putback.
I think Larry Hughes hurried that shot somewhat too, I do believe. He had a time to maybe even take a dribble.
Yeah. He could have.
Or put his feet up under him and took a shot. But, you know, he caught it and threw it right back up.
Mm-hmm. And now what?
They down 0-2.
See how quickly things change. 0-2. Detroit. Now they're going back to Cleveland. Game 3 is Sunday. And then game 4 is going to be Tuesday in Cleveland. So this holiday weekend, you're going to get an opportunity to see a lot of exciting NBA basketball starting Saturday when Utah and San Antonio continues their series. And as I just indicated, Cleveland will start back, see if they can get one on the board against Detroit on Sunday. And then Utah and San Antonio are back on the court Memorial Day. And then Tuesday, we go back to the Detroit-Cleveland series. So we're going to get, after this little holiday break that we have, we're going to get back into some serious action when it comes to the NBA. We got 2 series. Looks like
I'm still going with Detroit and San Antonio.
Detroit and San Antonio.
Detroit and San Antonio.
Now
Now, you know, I made this statement back when the series started, back when the playoffs started. Detroit and San Antonio.
You did on the radio show. I remember that. I think.
You remember?
Whatever. All right, we'll give you that one, man. Give him one. Stat Girl, you awake?
Barely.
Stat Girl's barely awake, folks. 384-2452. See, I remembered it. Didn't need any help. Give us a hit. Tell it like it is. NBA playoffs or whatever you want to talk about. Now, The NBA playoffs is playing through, but there's a few teams who didn't make the playoffs. And because of that, they had to have a lotto. The draft lottery was Tuesday. Or not Tuesday, was it Sunday? Or what was it? Tuesday, Sunday,
I thought it was Monday,
Monday, Tuesday. It was this week.
earlier this week.
And the big ticket, the big prize on the board, whether you like them long and lanky and facing the basket or long and lanky with their back to the basket, you couldn't go wrong with Kevin Durant or Greg Oden. Those are the two big prizes, the big fishes at the market that'll be coming at you in this year's NBA draft. And the team that won the NBA lottery, the Portland Trailblazers. Wow. Now with Portland winning the NBA draft lottery, they have their choice. They can either go with Oden in the middle. Now last year, they drafted Tyrese Thomas and then made a trade with the Chicago Bulls, which sent Thomas to the Bulls, and the Bulls sent LaMarcus Aldridge, another big fella from Texas, to Portland. So now, depending on their style, Portland already has the Rookie of the Year, Brandon Roy. They've got LaMarcus Aldridge. They've got Zach Randolph, out of Michigan State. So they can bring in Kevin Durant and have him play a 3 or a 4 if they move Zach Randolph. Or they can go with Oden, put him in the middle, and move Aldridge to the 4. What do you say, Comrade Rock?
I say take Oden.
Why?
Because big men in the NBA, especially good big men, are hard to find. They don't come out very often.
Yeah.
Grab them when you can. Oden's already mature enough. He's, 54 years old? At least he looked 54 years old.
I think he's 54, 55.
So, he's going to fit in good with Portland. I look for Portland to take Oden, and heck, they just might. I'm not saying they will now. It's a little early to tell. They just might make the playoffs next year.
And that, I got to agree with you on that because, as you just indicated, good big men, hard to find in the NBA.
Hard to find.
If you go through the history, it's about one every 5, 10 years where you get a guy that can come in and make this kind of impact.
Most of them take power forwards and put them in the center position.
Right. But to find a guy like Oden, you've got to go back, Alonzo and Shaquille, Duncan, David Robinson, and the man who started the draft lottery, Patrick Ewing. So to get these guys, not a dime a dozen like guards, a good big man, hard to find. So I might have to lean with you, Oden in the middle. But here's the other thing. Portland gets Oden. Seattle Supersonics, they ain't hurting.
No.
They got the number 2 pick.
Right.
They take Kevin Durant.
And it's not like they can't use some help.
Imagine Durant with Ray Allen, Rashard Lewis.
They're not going to make the playoffs, though.
But they'll be much improved.
They'll be much improved.
Now, to the victor goes the spoils, which is Portland. But to the tears of a cloud, the Boston Celtics. Oh, Doc Rivers and Danny Ainge. You tanked the season. The last 10, 15 games of the season, you knew you were mathematically out of the playoffs. You tanked it to get the number 1 pick.
Yep, lose them all.
Lose them all was the motto in Boston. And guess what happened? They lost them all, including the lottery.
But, because Portland had like a 1 in 100 chance of coming up with the first pick.
It was something, the odds weren't too good for Portland. But the Memphis Grizzlies and Boston Celtics both had the most opportunities to win the lottery. Memphis got 4 and Boston got the 5th pick.
They'll be all right. The lottery's deep this year, so.
It's deep, but when you're banking, it's like waiting on dinner. And you walk in and you think you smell steak, and it's meatloaf.
Ooh.
Just don't go down the same, does it?
No, it doesn't.
And they got meatloaf. Not to say meatloaf is bad, I just want to make sure we get that out.
Oh,
I
meatloaf.
enjoy
is
it.
good.
Meatloaf?
No, man, come on.
Man, with some gravy,
I can't remember when the last time I had a
and
meatloaf.
some green beans or greens, and some
Meatloaf
corn.
don't fly in my house.
You want to go? Just go get some right now.
No, I don't do meatloaf.
You don't do meatloaf? Oh, I forgot. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me. Sorry for disrespect. Memorial weekend,
Meatloaf don't go in my house.
servicemen and vets.
But it's good eating though,
Good eating.
when it's all that's there.
My question now is with the loss of the lottery, Doc Rivers, should we start counting the days?
No.
He's safe?
He's safe. Doc Rivers not going anywhere. He's gonna be around for another season.
And then
Who knows?
I think y'all might know 384-2452.
Who knows?
Stat Girl is over here in a coma. We're gonna have to put her on life support pretty soon. If you don't call here and give us a hit, tell it like it is, UPTV Channel 6.
But you know, I read today that both Odin and Durant was going to be joining the U.S. team, who will be vying for an Olympic bid come next year.
That is correct, oh great one. Thank you.
They're going to be joining some James. Hold on, they got James. Kobe's playing this year.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo Anthony's playing. I don't think Lamar James. No, he's not going to be there this year.
No, Wade won't be there.
Huh?
Because Dwayne Wade, shoulder surgery and
Yeah, Wade won't be there.
right, he won't be there,
But you know, the coaches are trying to get the U.S. team back to where it was when they had the first dream team. The U.S. team has been embarrassed by the European teams these past two tournaments that they've been having.
yeah, they lost the World Championships
Mm-hmm.
and the 2004 Olympics when they got the bronze. That's not good.
Nah,
Bronze.
it's not good for the NBA. Cause see what that tells the rest of the world is, you guys ain't that good at all.
And it says world champion. How can you call yourself a world champion?
Right.
You're just beating other people in your country.
Right. So they go Spain beat up on them. Ooh, I think Greece beat up on them. Mm-hmm. So, you know,
I think Paraguay beat up on them too.
Peru,
Paraguay.
where is that, Joe?
It's a little country south of France.
I just want to check see if you knew your geography.
I failed geography. I don't know where it
Paraguay,
is.
it's in South America.
Call, sue me.
It's in South America.
Is
somewhere.
it?
Right there in that little thing that connects North and South America together.
Hey, I'm not
Somewhere
smarter
around
than a fifth grader, okay?
But the U.S., they got to come up with an answer to this. Because the NBA right now, they're trying to go global.
Yeah.
They done set up an office in China.
Yeah.
Already got an office in Europe. So, you know, they trying to do some things, and you can't go over there and sell a product being at the NBA if you losing to these other countries.
But here's the thing. Yes, you can. Here's why.
Oh, let them win.
Let them win. David Stern ain't no dummy.
Let them win.
You got 1 billion customers in China, and you wonder why he put all this over there?
And then again, too, you already got a lot of European players
Speak on it.
that are in the NBA. And you have more that are coming. Matter of fact, I think they have a guy in the draft. He's 7'1", 7 foot from China.
Yes.
So Yao's gonna be getting some company.
If you look at the numbers of the NBA draft past 3 years, over 30% of the players drafted are from Europe and South America. The NBA is not stupid.
No.
NBA is about money. And the more you expand your market, the more revenue comes in.
You know,
So for the USA basketball team, it's a national pride thing.
I've been struck with a thought.
What's your thought there, comrade?
People, listen to me now. You see what has happened to the Afro-American in the baseball league, the major leagues. They're pretty much non-existent. Got one or two here. Now, you jump over to the NBA, which is primarily Afro-American.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a lot of European players. And our Caucasian friends are going by the wayside
So you
It's-
have to
it's-
bring in a new.
as far as starters.
So you have to bring in a new ethnic group
That's-
to start filling those voids.
You know, that's just my thought. It makes you go, Think about it now, Joe.
Are you at home going?
Think about it, Joe.
Are you at home going? What a remote! What the? Are they talking? Let me see who American Idol rewind.
Hey, think about it, folks.
I'm thinking. You know what? I'm gonna ponder that as we go into this next segment. Now we've talked NBA basketball for the first half of the show, and Stat Girl's sitting over there. She getting eye boogers and flicking them.
Slob running outside.
Get
Get that girl a napkin or something.
Oh, I'm on. Sorry. We can ready to go into American pastime.
Oh,
Baseball.
the majors.
Baseball been very good to us.
You see, I got my Cardinal hat on again.
I was gonna
Were you going to mention that?
mention that when we got in this segment. And here's why I was gonna mention.
We sweep the Pirates.
Say that again.
We sweep the Pirates.
Say that one more time.
We sweep the Pirates, and I feel great. We're 7.5 games out of first place. Game and a half behind the Cubs. Don't be clapping now.
Oh, sorry.
Game and a half behind the Cubs. They caught. So, St. Louis is on the rise, people. We will not disappoint.
Are we through here? Are we done listening to this? Are you done? Candidate Rock.
Go ahead. You got the floor.
Thank you very much. Wow. Cardinals. A game and a half behind the Cubs are 21-24 as he indicated. They won last night 3-1 over the Padres. 3 games set this weekend against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers playing some good baseball.
Oh, yeah.
They're 27-20. You know, they just beat Milwaukee for a consecutive win after, Dodgers just lost 4 straight, so kind of doing one of these numbers here.
I know. Dodgers out there doing that Hollywood thing out there in L.A.
Is
You
that
know
what
what they got going on in right field now?
What?
All you can eat if you're sitting in the right field bleachers. Dodger dogs, nachos, drinks, all for one price.
They have like a cardiologist or something out there to jumpstart you after you done had all you can eat.
Oh, no.
Brats and hot dogs and pizza.
And you know, as long as some baseball games are, half of right field is sleep.
Here's my invitation of a Dodger fan
Yeah.
in right field.
There you go. There you go. Mustard all over his face.
Hey, where's my hot dog?
Yeah, all you can eat. I think that's great. That's great.
Well, you know what those people are
Marketing
gonna
right
be.
there.
You know what they're gonna be eating this weekend? A lot of home runs from D. Lee and Ramirez out there in right field. So you watch for that. 3 game set. Cubs, Dodgers. Cubs come home 500 after a 3-game sweep of the Dodgers. That's what I got to say about that.
Well, we'll be checking that out. But you know, there was a milestone yesterday in the major leagues. John Smoltz became the first pitcher to win 200 games.
Wow, that hadn't happened in 200 games.
Yeah, exactly. Got 150 saves. He pitched 7 innings, beating Glavine in the Mets 2-1 last night.
Well, ain't that something?
But you remember when Atlanta was in their heyday, they probably had the best pitching staff in baseball ever.
Yeah. Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz.
And who else?
That one, Bob Gibson, I think.
No.
It wasn't him. Babe Ruth.
No, it wasn't him.
Ruth Buzzy.
No, it wasn't him. And you know, when I had him when I came in here this evening, I had him. But now I only can get those ones that we just rattled off.
Because right now, the only thing you got is your mind on your money and your money on your mind.
Speaking of baseball, Josh Hancock's daddy
Cardinal,
is suing
everybody.
He's suing the restaurant, which is owned by Mike Shannon, Cardinals announcer. Suing his daughter, who is the manager of the restaurant. He's suing the guy whose car stopped on the highway. Oh, okay. He's suing the tow truck driver, and he's suing the tow truck driver's company,
And he's suing
Eddie's Towing.
So even Eddie's Towing is getting
Eddie's
sued.
Towing is getting sued.
I think he's suing IDOT, or is it MDOT, since it happened down there in Missouri.
Okay, now here's why he's suing.
Let's hear this.
He went to Mike Shannon's restaurant after the ball game, and he was there for 3.5 hours. And while he was there, everybody was giving him drinks. He was not. He was there for 3.5 hours without a drink. He had a drink for 3.5 hours. So when he left, now get this, people.
He was inebriated.
Yeah, he's driving down the road drunk, speeding,
Okay.
talking on his cell phone, runs in the back of the tow truck.
Killed
All
himself.
right, yeah, killed himself. Wasn't wearing a seatbelt either, so let's throw that in there. Now, here's my thing. As long as he's suing people, why not sue the cell phone company?
That's true.
Why not sue
The person he was talking to on the other end of the cell phone.
the guy that sold him the weed?
Yeah, because they did find weed in the vehicle.
That's right. Sue the guy who gave the guy the weed supplier. Sue him.
The middleman.
Yeah, sue him.
Sue the guy who grew the weed.
Sue, that's right. Sue Earth, at which the weed was grown in.
Wow. Could you see Earth coming into the courthouse?
Yeah.
What kind of suit would Earth have on?
Earth be all shook up.
But Earth would probably have on like a nice green,
A little pastel blue.
pastel blue or something like that. You know,
Little white thrown in.
partly cloudy.
Yeah, there you go.
Earth came in partly cloudy today for the court proceedings of the Josh Hancock wrongful death case.
So what is, I don't know, what is he doing?
Now I know his dad's grieving, and but what happened to personal responsibility in this country? What happened to people doing things that they shouldn't have been doing and standing up right? I was wrong, and let's just leave it at
Well,
that.
Josh can't stand up and say he was wrong.
Josh can't stand up and say he's wrong, but I think by suing all of those folks, the tow truck driver
And the tow truck company.
and the company, Eddie was just there.
Eddie had nothing to do with it.
I drive the truck. I drive the truck.
That's it.
That's all Eddie does. He drive the truck, and he getting sued.
He getting sued.
And the dude who was stalled on the highway,
He getting sued too.
and guess why he was stalled on the highway? Somebody cut him off.
Cut him off.
So let's find that phantom car. If it wasn't for that dude,
None of this would have
none of this would have happened. So the guy, I know you out there watching, who cut the car off to make his car stall, that caused the tow truck to be called, that was there for 15 minutes while Josh Hancock drank for 3.5 hours continuously and got in his vehicle and drove it, texting and talking on the cell phone, and then hit the back of the tow truck and had a tragic death. We're coming after you.
Well,
like that.
Well put, Joe. Matter of fact, we're even going to offer a $5 reward.
We got that kind of budget around here?
We got it.
We got?
We have a fundraiser or something we can work on.
No. Stat Girl said,
Well, we'll work on that, okay? Work on that.
right, please, yeah, check the budget. But we're coming after you, unknown vehicle guy.
$5 reward.
$5 reward
We
from
gonna-
telling like it is.
We're going to find you. We're going to find you. We got your number.
Long arm of the law will get you. Real quick, we were talking a little baseball there and talking Cardinals. The Cardinals, as Sam said, they're game and a half back to the Cubs in 19-25, 9-11 in the month of May. They've won 3 in a row. Guess who they played this weekend? They had a 3-game set against the Washington Nationals.
Oh, that's another 3 games.
Cardinals gonna be 22-25 when the weekend's over.
Matter of
I
fact,
better not speak too much about my Cubs.
we in second place come Monday, Joe.
Now, the one other team locally, White Sox, they're 23-20. They're 11-10 in the month of May. They won 4 of their last 7. They got a 3-game set against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
Oh, they got all 3 of those.
Right, but the reason why I bring up the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, their center fielder, Elijah Dukes, got a restraining order against him. Elijah decided to threaten his wife. They're going through a real nasty divorce. Elijah sent his wife a picture of a gun on her cell phone.
He did what? He did what?
Elijah sent a picture of a gun. Like, took a picture of a gun and then transmitted the picture from his cell phone to her cell phone. And then called her and said, "You dead, dog. I ain't even bull. Bloop. Your kids too."
He was picked up soon thereafter, I imagine.
There is a restraining order against him right now. So Elijah can't come in the vicinity of Nashia, his wife.
Brother ain't too smart, is he?
You said earlier things that make you go, That don't even make you go, That make you go, what? I'm going to take a picture of a gun and send it to somebody, and then I'm going to leave them a voicemail and threat.
That's evidence, sir.
When asked for comment, Brother Duke said, and I quote, "I'm just going to play ball. Man, I got a video game to finish." And he walked away from the report. So that's who the Sox will be playing against this weekend. So if you're a White Sox player, check your cell phone before you go out there. Brother Dukes might have a message for you.
You know, athletes, that's the reason why they tell you. You know where I'm going with this, Joe.
I'm listening.
Stay in school. Learn something. These are things that you just don't do.
No,
Matter of fact, it's very simply put, it's called common sense.
exactly. Now, speaking of things that athletes don't do, Barry Bonds watch. Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron. You know, Bonds is chasing Hank Aaron. Well, he stopped chasing him, and he getting some soda or something.
I don't know. He just, and you know what? They're not pitching around him either.
No, because Bonds he's right now batting 196.
You
in the
think he
month of
stopped
May.
taking steroids? No, okay, I was just joking. Settle down. Here, let me get. Can somebody get Joe some water, please?
You make me angry when you say that.
But do you?
I don't think he stopped taking steroids. I just think the fact that he is in a major slump. I think when the
And that-
conversation now, he's only 10 home runs away from time. He started the year off hot.
Oh yeah.
Hot as a fire. And now, he couldn't hit cold biscuits with a hot pan. Something's wrong with Barry Bonds.
Yeah, I think so. You don't think the pressure is getting to him, do you?
No, I just think, number one, he's showing his age. Number two, as you talked about pitching, I don't think guys are pitching to him, you know.
No, they're pitching. They're not pitching around him.
They're not pitching around him per se, but Bonds has had 26 walks in the month of May.
They're just not giving him nothing to hit.
No. And you know, Bonds is 3 years ago, if it even got that close, boom, it was gone. But now, he's struggling. So the Barry Bonds watch ain't nothing to watch.
They're gonna put it on hold for a while. He'll be all right.
Right. Now,
Like, you know, you don't want him to get the record anyway, so.
I want him to get close. I've
He
told
is
you
close.
what
He's
my
10
wish
games
is.
away. He's 10 games away. That is close.
No, I want him to get right there. I want 754, then walk away. I want to walk away at 745, 754, 54, 754. Bonds, step on out the way. Now, we in the second half of the show. I think the phone rang once, but I think it was Stack Girl's cell phone provider. The cell phone provider was calling with a new plan. Give her a call, 384-2452. 4-call minimum. Memorial Weekend special. Tell it like it is. Give us a holler. Now, we talked about Bonds. Let's talk about two other juicers. Roger Clemens.
Oh, he sucks.
Roger is down in
He's in
Double A.
he's on Trenton and got roughed up the other night.
Like he
Hold on.
he got mugged in an alley.
They got three runs, 6 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. He hit somebody in a wild pitch. He says he think about whether he's coming up. He made that statement today, but I think he's gonna go to AAA and do some pitching. But I want to say that if they roughing you up in Double-A ball, man, come on now. What you gonna do when you get to the majors?
Once again, something that makes you go, what?
Yeah, they roughing him up down there.
Now they roughing him up
Steinberger done spent $28 million to get this man to come up and pitch.
for a
And
Double-A pitcher.
For what?
A Double-A pitcher.
I don't understand it.
I don't either.
He
That
coulda
just
gave
shows
me
you.
that money. I would have went out there and pitched for him for that amount.
We don't want to see that now. We don't want to see your breaking ball. Wait a minute, do that one more time. You know, I remember you now. Bingo Long,
I struck you out, didn't
Traveling All-Stars, Motor King.
I? It was a while ago.
I seen him. That old Billy D. Williams.
It was a while ago.
Well, Rogers' soon-to-be teammate, Jason Giambi, admitted that he used the stuff. The stuff?
That's what he said.
The stuff? What is the stuff? Stat girl, you been using the stuff? You don't use the stuff? Sarge, you been on the stuff?
Not me, bro.
What in the world is this? Man up. First of all, don't nobody care about Jason Giambi. He's a has-been. He's washed up now. But now the report comes out that Jason Giambi used the stuff. He could have been using Viagra.
The stuff.
The stuff. The stuff for his stuff.
He could
Who
have been
knows?
Flintstone vitamins.
The stuff.
The stuff.
He could have been using Hosted Blueberry Pie and Twizzlers.
The stuff.
The stuff. I used to use that back in the day.
Yeah, but he came out and wanted to apologize and got Frank Robinson all upset.
Well, you know, Frank was in the dugout like he was in the right field of the Dodgers.
Got Frank all shut up.
Well, they say there now, you using that stuff. We didn't use it in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Shut up, Frank. Go back to sleep. But John B. said he used the stuff. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Once again, baseball and steroids. It was fine when the balls were going out of the parks and people were watching and sitting in the seats. Now everybody wants to be holier than thou. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
There you go.
Next subject.
That's what I say.
Fighting Illini. Give a look. That's why I wore my Illini. We're going to talk a little Illini sports. The tennis team. We got to give kudos from Tell It Like It Is. We talk about everything on here.
Yeah, they came in second place.
National runners up.
Yeah.
Went all the way down. They were the 10th seed. Beat 3 teams that were higher seeds and made it all the way to the national championship game or match before losing to the number 1 seed, Georgia, who's undefeated. But Illinois was ranked 10th. They were seeded 10th in the tournament and made it all the way. So kudos to the Fighting Illini, Brad Dancer, head coach over there. Tell it like it is. We know a little about tennis.
That's right.
Sergeant Rock used to play with Arthur Ashe.
They beat him a couple times in tournaments.
But that was it wasn't Ash you beat. It was Ashe,
That's what I'm talking about.
the dude that lived on Fifth Street.
I know it. I grabbed me a bottle of Jergens, and I went at it.
And you lotioned him up
I beat him a couple
in
times.
straight sets.
Beat him a couple times, Joe.
So we go from Illinois tennis,
Baseball teams in the Big Ten tournament.
Illinois baseball
Matter of fact, they
team.
playing as we speak.
Yes, they are. They're playing the number 1 seed too, the
Yeah.
Michigan Wolverines.
It might be short-lived, but at least we made it.
Hey, Illini sports, a lot of good news going on out there. But
Then there's not so good news.
not so good news as it was reported yesterday. Jamar Smith, he a little drinky when he drivey.
You got to do 2 weeks.
So now, you know, it's always funny until somebody get their eye poked out or somebody goes to jail.
Right.
Well, somebody's going to jail. And Jamar pled guilty yesterday and to aggravated drunk driving. And now he's going to spend 15 days at the local Motel 6. And
And
they're going to leave the light on for him.
yes, and you know what? Our friends over at the News Gazette, who are avid Illini fans, want everybody to know what Jamar Smith's daily activities were going to be.
Really? What would that be?
So if you've never been
to the Motel 6 locally.
We're gonna let you know what Jamar Smith is going to be going to.
What? You got a list right there?
Got it right here.
Okay.
They put it down for you.
What is he going to be eating, Sarge?
Well, I don't know, but breakfast will be served at 6:30 to 7:30. Jamal will be eating. And
I'll have some eggs Benedict.
and then after breakfast, you're going to sit around and wait for lunch,
Boy,
which will be served at 11:30.
what I'll have for lunch? Maybe a fettuccine salad.
You're going to have what they bring. Then after lunch, you're going to wait around for dinner.
Wow.
That's
nothing,
at 5:30.
nothing like a good porterhouse to get me through the day.
And then after dinner, you wait for lights out.
What about activities?
You play cards. You're going to have some cards, downtime cards, dominoes, and you watch TV.
Wow.
Write letters, beat up somebody so you can get on the phone. Exercise, they don't do basketball anymore because of injuries.
So since he's there for 2 weeks, this is like a summer camp deal, right?
Right, pretty much. He's going to float through this.
So when he's writing his letters, hello, mother. Hello, father.
Okay, and if you want to go visit Jamar, visitation is between 6 and 9 p.m. Thursday and 1 to 4 on Saturdays.
So we've got the schedule, we've got the meals, etc. So, like I said before, it's not funny until somebody gets their eye poked out, until somebody goes to jail. So I hope somebody's out there listening. Tell it like it is. This is our after-school special show. Caller, tell us your name, tell us where you're calling from, tell it like it is.
She all happy she jumped over there.
Chris, I just wanted to ask you about if you think that the Jamar Smith rule is fair.
I think it's very fair. 15 days for the situation that happened back in February, I think is fair. Still, Coach Weber and the staff haven't made a decision as to whether he'll be able to return back to the team. I think he's got 100 hours of community service he's still got to serve. And earlier this year when this occurred, we had a caller indicated he should do some of that community service at a local emergency room to see the effects of drunk driving. I think that would be a lesson not only for him, but for many college students when they see the consequences of their actions.
Let me ask you a question, caller. Do you think that Jamar Smith should be let back on the team?
Oh, yeah, he's a great addition to the team. I think he's a big leader. I really think everyone respects him. I mean, everyone makes mistakes. It could easily happen to either one of us. I mean, having a few drinks and going out. A lot of people drive. I mean, I'm sure you guys have done it before. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done it before. One last question, caller. He was suspended for the rest of the 2006-2007 season. Should he start the year off with a suspension, or should that be retroactive and be able to start fresh if he's back on the team?
You should start out fresh because he only served his time and he missed the tournament, so.
Okay. Well, caller, we appreciate you calling. You hit us anytime. UPTV, Channel 6, tell it like it is. Take care.
All right.
Stat Girl got her one call, 3 more to go. And I think that was, Chris, excellent call, first of all. Sitting at home, appreciate you hitting us, tell it like it is. Call anytime. Excellent point on that. You know, another call. Stat Girl, 2 for 2 on the free throw. Caller, tell us your name, tell us where you call from, tell it like it is.
Larry Davis.
Larry Davis.
Hey, Larry.
Joe Stovall. Ruth Buzzy.
Hey, it just flowed, Larry. You know, sometimes when this tongue gets to flapping, I have no control over what comes out.
I understand. My question is, why do you think that the NBA players are losing in these tournaments that include the international rules?
I think it's the rules of the game. The international teams play an entirely different ball game than the NBA play. They're a lot more physical, number one. Things that they do in the international games, I they won't call them. I mean, what I'm trying to say, things they do in the international league don't get called when they get called in the NBA.
Right.
I think that's what I'm trying to say. That's what happens.
I think, Larry, twofold. Number one, the game has improved internationally.
Okay.
More people play basketball around the world than ever before.
Okay.
So I think we need to give credit to some of these other countries. Number two, these teams play together throughout the season. We take 4 to 6 weeks and try to throw an all-star team together playing against competition. You know, these guys may not come into the NBA and light it up, but they are NBA quality caliber players that have been playing together for several years. And because of that, they play a more cohesive game. And the final thing, the European style game is an outside-in game. If you notice when you watch these games, they do a lot of penetration and kick. And you've got guys who are 6'10" and 7 feet tall playing international basketball. They shoot the three at a very high level. Our guys, we get enamored with the Sports Center highlight. We like the dunk. We like the killer crossover. But the fundamentals of the game, I think, are being taught a little bit better internationally than they are taught here at home.
I would agree 100%. I think that's the actual difference. We NBA players is entertainment. It is not, in my opinion, pure basketball,
Right.
and that's what we are getting beat at, and that is the way the game was really supposed to be played. And I do agree that there are those things that are not called during the international rule and style of play versus when we get over it. I mean, if you watch some of those guys, Wade and James and them, some of the stuff that they were calling initially, the traveling, and you know, in the NBA they could get away with those things.
Right.
And the other thing is the fundamental of what happened to the intermediate jump shot.
When the three-point line was introduced to basketball, it killed that. You either shoot layups, dunks, or you shoot threes. If you remove the three-point line or extend it even further than what it is right now, you'll see the intermediate jump shot come back.
It is not that ruled. Did I read something this week where the three-point line is indeed going to go back, or is that just the college?
That's just college. They're going to go back 1 foot.
It has happened. They voted on it today and agreed to do that.
That's right. So
Next season it'll be longer jumpers.
there you go. Well, Larry, appreciate you calling, man.
Not a problem.
Have a safe Memorial weekend, and we'll be hollering at you. Tell it like it is.
All right. Thanks a lot, fella.
Take care. Stat girl is over here.
You know, they're working now.
She work right. Working like she working the 10 item or less aisle at County Market, sliding the phones all over the place.
So go ahead, call. Yeah.
Well, bring them on in.
Oh, I thought we had him already.
Tell us your name. Tell us where you're calling from. Tell it like it is.
Hey, my name's Tony. I want to know what y'all think about the two premier draft picks going to be out in the Pacific Northwest where no one is going to watch them. No one's going to be able to see them because who watches games in Seattle and Portland? When's the last time you've seen one of those games on TV? Plus, you know, 75% of the population's on the I-95 corridor who are NBA fans out in Philly and New York and, you know, that area in Boston. And these two stars of the NBA are going to be out there in the Northwest in small markets, and I think it's a shame. And what's your feeling like it is?
Well, you can rest assured that the NBA gonna make sure that they do get some television time.
Yeah, they will. You'll see a lot of Portland and Seattle games on Sundays
ABC.
on ABC and in ESPN. But I agree with your caller. It's tough now. I mean, the last time you saw anybody from Seattle or Portland was Billy Ray Bates and Dennis Johnson.
That curly-haired white boy back in the 70s.
Jack Sigma.
Yeah, Sigma.
Right,
Yeah.
the old Illinois Wesleyan grad. But I think the NBA, you'll see this because the NBA focuses on finances. David Stern has done that his entire career as commissioner. There will be a trade.
Oh,
There will be a blockbuster trade for one of those guys to get to the East Coast because they can't have their two best rookies coming into the league to be stuck out there in the Pacific Northwest playing basketball with Bigfoot.
That's right. That's right, man.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No. Well, I mean, I just think the NBA in general has just got a problem because, like the last caller said, it's just an international game, and there's just no good white players anymore. I mean, and I think part of their problem with their lackluster ratings and stuff, I I mean, when Jordan left, you know, the black people loved him, white people loved him, everybody loved him, and the image of the NBA now, and I love Allen Iverson, and I'm a white man, but I'm different than most, because a lot of people think he's all thuggish and stuff with the tattoos, but I like him because he's real. He's not like Kobe, who Kobe sits around and tries to be like Mike all the time, or Allen Iverson is who he is. He's
Right.
his own person. But I guess my question is, you know, since Larry Bird, there's not been a really good American white player. I mean, I know there's Dirk and Steve Nash, but they're all international players, in my
Right.
opinion. And I think the NBA really needs to, I don't know, try to do something to promote a good white athlete to kind of, you know, make it back in the Magic and Bird days, and that's going to help them in the long run.
Tony, those are excellent points.
And I made that point earlier.
Sergeant Rock talked about that earlier in the show,
Yes.
and you concurred that. And we're going to go ahead. We're getting short on time, but we'll go ahead and comment on that. But we're going to let you go. Appreciate your call. Tell it like it is.
All right, thank you.
Take care. What he's saying is true. Because when you talk about marketing, you talk about your fan base and the
Right.
people that are spending the money.
That's it.
And 90% of the folks you see sitting in those bleachers are Caucasian, and they're spending their money to go out to be entertained. They would like to see somebody that looks like them too. So, hey,
Hey, well put.
thank you.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey guys, my name is Charlie Bollinger, and I just want to give a call to see if the campus bars that Scott Cochran owns do influence these basketball and football players to make stupid decisions around campus.
You said about the campus bars?
Yeah, and how they affect the influences that these football players and basketball players like do and get in trouble.
I can't, caller, I can't put any emphasis on the bars creating an atmosphere for the athletes here in town. It goes back to what I said earlier about personal responsibility. You got to set a standard. The athletic department sets a standard. These guys know the rules. They know what to be expected. If you step outside that standard, you got to suffer the consequences. I know the temptations of being a young man or a young woman on a college campus is there for you, but you got to remember, you've made sacrifices your entire life to play and have that privilege of being on the team. You got to continue that sacrifice while you're here.
That's correct, and yeah, I just need to. I think the football players need to get a little straight better, like not steal things and stuff.
Excellent point. We appreciate your call, and we're going to wrap it up. You hit us anytime. I'll tell it like it is. Take care. Stat girl.
Yeah, she
You know what? I think this
get to
is.
stick around for another week.
I think we were punked. I think we were punked, Sergeant Rock.
She's had it set up all along.
She did have it set up all along. Because here it is. I said a 4-call minimum. We didn't get any calls for 50 minutes, and then the thing just. I think those was your cousins calling. They here for Memorial Weekend. Well, speaking of Memorial Weekend,
Have a safe one.
have a safe one. But remember, to all the folks who served in the military, your veterans out there, and those who perished, Sergeant Rock, thank you for your service to our country.
You're
Appreciate
welcome,
you.
Joe.
You
Glad to
made
be a part.
I slept sound
You
knowing
probably, you
that
probably did.
you were on that board.
You probably did.
You were on that wall.
I know you slept.
You can't handle the truth.
You don't know the truth.
That's true. Hey, Stat Girl,
Good job over there.
Jason, Coach. Man, I didn't get to talk about Layla.
We sure didn't, did we?
You know what? But she so thick. I ain't gonna say it.
You are watching a master.
Keep you up late.